Hi, this is Henry. Another video I wanted to share with you as I thought you guys might like it. Those of you that like metal roofs, ideas of a metal roof, and should I put a metal roof on? Should I not put a metal roof on? If you don't mind, we'll go through this video right here just a little bit. I'm going to pick out a few things that I like, some things that I don't like. Come on, let's get the video rolling. And by the way, it's a little, sales eater trying to sell this house, but this is like one of the best ones. You got to see this. Come on, let's go. All right, all right. I'm going to go further than that. Okay, so now $35 million home. Who cares? All right. So down by the Florida Keys, we have lots of metal roofs. So people ask, Henry, should we put a metal roof on? I don't know. Maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. But here's what I know. If the people down in Florida with the salty water and the high winds can trust in a metal roof, then you should be able to trust it too. I think it's one of the better roof systems that is out there in the marketplace, bar none. In fact, I would go as far to say is a whole lot better than the asphalt roofs. The asphalt, yeah, they say they have a lifetime, but guess what? They don't really last a lifetime. I mean, whose lifetime, right? The metal roof's got a 40-year warranty with it. Some have 50-year. It just has a different level, just like the asphalt. The big thing is you don't have to worry about winds, high winds taking off your shingles one at a time, just like a page in your workbook or a page in a notebook, right? Because it's fastened down from top to bottom. It's screwed down and it's secure. Now, this is kind of like a, I don't know, light white roof. I mean, I would put like a darker roof on. Surely it could have a much better ascent than that. I mean, come on. But let's go. Let's see what else we can see. And I'll continue talking about this roof. We have a few other roofs to look at in this video. But if you just look over here, look at this. Look at this system right here, water, where the water runs in against. I think it's underneath the roof right up there. Oh my goodness, I don't want that. I don't even want to do that roof. Oh my goodness. Do you think of the mess it would make out here to change this roof? If it was asphalt, it would be far worse. And the metal roofing system, they are completely recyclable. So you can recycle those metal roofs. So it's a green energy roof, and also doesn't hold the heat as much as the asphalt roof. It reflects it a whole lot more, even if it's a darker color than the asphalt. Let's watch. So what kind of a shingle or metal roof would you like for this house if this was yours? I'm just curious. Right now, it looks like we have the regular rib, but I believe this is the standing seam, one of the top of the line roofing systems you can buy in the marketplace today. This is fantastic. All right, I just missed it. All right, we'll continue. And okay, so no gutter system. As you notice, a lot of metal roofs do have a gutter system all the way around, but not all of them, especially right here. Why would you need one, right? What I wanted to show you right here, see how the bottom is closed up? A lot of contractors do not close this up and do a horrible, messy job right there. I love it how they did that. This is like windproof, waterproof, stormproof. I mean, ready for the Florida storms. All right, so here you can see the other side just a little bit. Looks like a light blue house right here. I'm not sure why it's changing the color on me as I'm going through this video. And one of the things with the metal, it has a lot of trim work. See all this trim up the side and here and there and everywhere. Whereas with the asphalt shingle roof, you don't have as many trims. For instance, right here, it's called the transition trim right here. You don't need that with the shingle roof. You just transition all the way up. And the valleys aren't quite as difficult as the metal roof system. Hey, it's not a character in this roof, so why not? Let's just go ahead and put the metal roof on. Let's see what else we can find. This green one right here is like, it's called patina green, and you can buy that brand new. And it's supposed to look like a faded or a copper roof that has faded and discolored. And they come brand new, just like that. I can't tell; it's not close enough right now, but it does look like one of those patina green roofs. You can buy a brand new standing seam. It's phenomenal. It's an amazing roof, guys. You should look into this color. Come on, let's get it on. All right, all right, all right. We don't want to see the inside of the house. Actually, we might see just a little bit, but I'm not interested in looking at the house because I'm going to teach you guys about the metal roofing and why you should have metal over asphalt roofs. Here for one reason, it gets 120 degrees in the summertime. It literally bakes the shingles from the inside out because the attic gets so hot. It's probably 30 degrees, 40 degrees hotter on the attic on the inside versus just the outside. And the metal is a lot more reflective, so there'll be a lot less heat contamination, a lot less heat trapped in the attic. And the metal roof system have a phenomenal ventilation system. So you can choose quite a few different options from a few different options and varieties, upgrades. It's a lot of options in a metal roof system. And I see right here, they chose a very, very nice roof system. Good job, guys. I love it. What else do we see? Okay, so right here I can tell this is like the standing seam ribs right here. And so this is like what used to be the number one roofing system. And now people, they just kind of go with the metal from, people call it barn style. I mean, that's okay if you want to call it barn style, just a regular rib, we call it. Different companies have different names, but this is the standing seam. This is your top of the line, best roofing system in the marketplace, bar none. I don't know of anyone selling anything better than this. And we've got metal shingles also, but this standing seam is phenomenal. I wonder what else we can find here. See, there's no gutters here. The water just shed off the roof, just let the roof do its thing. Water runs away. Apparently they got lots of gravel right here, so it probably just seeps into the ground really quick, doesn't wash away. Oh my goodness, this is a beautiful house. All right, yeah, they could have gutters, but they don't have to. And in the north area, in another country, when you got big old gutters and you have snow sliding off, yeah, you're gonna have some more issues. All right. So looking at this, what else can we find that we like to pick upon? One thing I'm not sure about, okay, we got the stink pipes right here, both sides, but these little vents right here, I don't know if they're a bathroom vent or a kitchen vent, but they should not be a roof vent because they are very inadequate. I see one right over here. They should have a full vented ridge vent system, even up the side right here, over across and down part ways because that ventilates so much better. Then your soffits need to be open, but possibly this is a 19th century home, which it is, and 1950 and older, 1970 and older, a lot of them did not have open soffits. So the best way to ventilate the roof is gable vents in conjunction with the roof vents, power fans, and there's quite a few different ways of doing it. So I'm not sure which route they did here, but it does look like they got the box vents. I wonder what the neighbors have, or is this neighbors or is this still the same house? I'm not sure. Looks like all the same property right here. All right. So looks like just the same thing. Let's see what else we can find. If you see the bottom of the rafters sticking out right there, that tells me that is an older home with no ventilated soffit. Because what happens, the roof comes down like an L, it comes down and it goes out. Because it goes down and out, down and out. And so the water just sheds off the roof like normal, see right here. But it's kicking out on the bottom, and the rafters actually go down on the edge of the house underneath. You can't see it. So it's just ornamental all the way around. So there's no way to get ventilation up in there. Not really. So that has to be done by these box vents, pod vents, whatever you want to call them. They get these little scoops, wind scoops on the side. I think this roof could use a bit more. There's also another different, there's quite a few ways you can ventilate this roof. But why is ventilation so important, Henry? Well, because the summertime it gets so hot, right? So you have 120 degrees on the outside, 150 degrees inside. It wants to escape. So you need to open it up so it can breathe. It can get the fresh air in, get the still air out. So we don't have moisture and condensation building up inside the house. You might say, well, Henry, doesn't moisture from the outside go in? It actually can. That's why I don't like these box vents. It could blow in on this side over here and blow out over here. So that's not properly ventilated. So that's why we guys like to use the open soffits. We like to see the open soffit system all the way around so the air can breathe in and it can intake from the bottom, go all the way up to the top, and exhale, go out through the ridge vent. So it gives a nice natural flow, and then it takes out any stale moisture, any stale air, and it dispels it through the ridge vent, and it goes out into the air again naturally. And so that's the cheapest way of doing it. Again, with a home like this, it probably should be restructured a little bit on the roof so they can put a power fan in. And then in another climates, for sure, we need to have a condensation and moisture meter on the probe also. So you can buy those fans. So when it gets hot, it turns on. And when the moisture gets up too high, it also turns on the fan and pulls out the moisture. Even in the middle of a winter in northern Michigan, let's say, or Wisconsin or some other climate, you would think those power fans would not turn on. But guess what? Average home, they use like 1.5 to, well, they evaporate 1.5 to 2 gallons of water a day between washing, laundry, some moisture escapes there, even though it's vented out. Showers, even though you have a fan going when you take a shower, there's still moisture going into the air. It escapes when you do the cooking. When you go online and you Google it, how much water evaporates on a home, on average home daily, it says between 1 and 2 gallons. Of course, it depends on how much cooking you do and how your laundry is set up and all that. And so what happens is it traps that moisture right into the attic and it can't get out. And then in another climate, you have condensation and moisture to worry about because you got cold like 10 degrees or 0 on the outside, and the attic is 50 degrees. So when those two air temperatures come together, it wants to sweat. Not so right here in Florida, but in another country it will. And so it's two problems right here. The reason the attic gets so warm is because it's not properly insulated. And so the heat escapes through the attic floor, and then it dispels its heat into the attic, and it's trapped. So it needs a little bit more insulation. And the other way is to get proper ventilation so the air can breathe right through this house, and it can keep the moisture out. That is one other way. And the third way is when you put the roof on, you should get some foil up on the roof underneath the metal, underneath the shingle. For the metal, there's a double bubble with a foil on it on one side, so it reflects the radiancy. It stops the radiant heat from going through the roof. And so you don't have that intense pressure of heat coming right through the attic. I mean, the metal does a good job in reflecting it, but the foil does so much better. It's like they have a special art foil for roofers. It's like not really like aluminum foil. It comes in a big old roll. It's not quite like that. And so that they have a product that they make for shingle roofs, asphalt roofs, as well as the metal roofs. And that's going to stop your UV rays, your sun rays from penetrating through the roof all the way. And it will deflect. And so you won't have as much hot sunshine coming in. That's right. Cheaper on your electric bill because now the AC doesn't have to work so hard. Or in the wintertime, you don't have as much trapped air. And in a northern climate, you're going to have icicles, ice jams up on the roof, jammed in the gutters. I mean, it don't stop. The valleys jam up. It's just one roofing nightmare after another if you live in the North Country, whether you got metal or whether you got shingle. So there's some downsides to metal in the North Country, but there's also a lot of upsides. And I think even though in a harsh country, when there's more problems with the metal roof, there's also a lot more problems with the asphalt if you have the asphalt on the roof. However, if you guys like asphalt, I don't mind putting it down. But let me tell you, I have a department that just does repairs. So if that tells you anything, we do a lot of asphalt roof repairs. Let's see what else we can find. Let's see if the guy's going to take us inside, get us lost in the house. What is he going to do? I'm not sure. All right. I don't want to see that house in the inside, but let's just look at it. See right here, it is closed up here with it's called a rafter extension. And they make it look pretty. It makes it look like it was to be this way, but it wasn't this way when it was built. The roof was probably pretty much flush, unless they did build it this way. This is like a beautiful home built on the beach. Anyway, so there is no open soffit, so there is no way to get air ventilation up at this point. And this is the same for the rest of the roofs. All right. Well, that's about it, I think, to look at this roof right now. They get a nice 24-inch overhang. So if you get the windows open, it definitely keeps the weather out quite a bit. I know we grew up on an old farmhouse and we had to have the windows open for quite a bit. All right, let's see. What else? Oh, I just missed the last picture. It's about the same as this. Okay, right here. So if this was the North Country, you'd want to put like snow stops up here or snow bars. A snow bar goes all the way across, so it stops the snow from coming down and crashing onto the car. However, you don't want it all the way around the house unless you got shrubs, because you like the roof to be clean. In the North Country, you can't get 2 feet of snow up on your roof, and you have to pay someone to get up there and shovel it off. Downside of the metal roof is it gets slippery and it's hard to do that. The upside is it'll slide off by itself and keep your snow bars limited to like entryways like this, like steps, like garage doors, and so on. So I believe he's going to take us inside. So this might be the end of this video. I hope you enjoy this. I'm going to follow this guy a little bit and then we'll just wrap it up. But a metal roof is a good roof. A metal roof is a happy roof. And Panda Roof loves metal roofs. Make sure that you check into Panda Roof next time you're looking for a metal roof system. All right. You can see the roof right out here, kind of like the old school roof rafters. Again, of course, this is outside, sitting outside in the open, whatever you call that, open porch. All right. Um, you got it fully ventilated. See how the rafters go out over the edge right there, and the air can flow up between the rafters. That's also one way to get the air into the attic, and that's what I'm talking about. To have your soffits open, it should be open up on the bottom, and we can put like a vented soffit. I know this would not be what you want for here, but if you have a house that's not like this on the outside, yeah, and I'm talking about the main house structure. That's how it should be done. All right. I believe that concludes the video. I'm just going to follow him a little bit and see if he's going to take us inside. Looks like he's in here now. And oh, we got some roofs right here. Kind of nice. You got a nice backsplash right there. How crazy is that? You think there's probably a lot of money in there, don't you? I think so. All right. Well, that concludes the metal roofing video for today. For this time, if you have any other questions for videos or for metal roofs, colors, durability, strength, textured roofs, roof colors, hit the link below, check out our website and see what we got. And we'll see you around. Okay. Cheers.